Hello everyone, this is How I Killed the Universal Man by Thomas Kendall, and I think I mostly kind of have it figured out, sort of, kind of, in a way, kind of, sort of. It starts out in what you might call typical cyberpunk fashion. The environment is collapsing. Your lead guy, his name is Lakerman. He's a cynical, drug-addicted alcoholic. And in this case, he's an investigative. I wouldn't call him an investigative reporter. He's a reporter, but he is doing an investigation. This is how it all starts out. It has various bits of technology in it, and so he has like a phone implant in his hand and various implants in his body, so he gets the internet through his mind. You encounter things like I believe it was a holographic interface that was being used for some pornographic material. You have this stuff called stomata, which is literally everywhere. It's like a biological programmable matter. And it's sort of taken over as a bio version of building materials, since industry has basically destroyed the planet. Now, from there, it just goes bonkers. I could almost dismiss this as some kind of psychedelic nonsense. I looked up Universal Man. I wondered what he meant by Universal Man, the title. And here it's like some kind of game, but what it sounded like, it kept coming up. There's a superhero in the Incredibles movie I forgot about named Universal Man. In other places, Universal Man was just like Renaissance Man who's good at everything, which could apply because you get your information from your internet into your implants. But one review, which I was trying to avoid other people's reviews and mess up what I think of it, but it came up in the search. It had to do with the Karl Marx Communist Manifesto, and it had a remark about the Universal Man. Wherever he goes, his industry basically removes him from the environment. It's basically, we're destroying the world, basically. And this then applies because it's bio stuff being used to try to take it all back, or to try to save humanity from its industry and technology. The I guess corporation involved. There seems to be a lot of related companies or shell companies or something trying to, shall we say, take people back to paradise. And they sound like tech bros today who say, here's the civilization and democracy we have now, but we're going to have something better so long as we're in charge of it. Sometimes this sounds more benign when you talk about like Ray Kurzweil and the singularity and becoming a smarter, sexier people because we have all this information we can use and help us out with. But ultimately, when you start hearing about a lot of the people in charge, their motivations are about themselves and how much they can control you. And that seems to be, and along the way, their research, it ends justifying the means, even though their means isn't exactly what we want to have anything to do with. We don't want you in charge of us. But there are problems along the way. This stuff they're using to connect us biologically. Like there's body horror in this, where somebody's chest splits open, and instead of a heart, there's a sex organ has formed there. Somebody's a hand came out of their throat, and so on. So, oh well, these are experiments. Still we're doing the right thing, and I think with Lakerman, he winds up being another example of this, like a test subject. It's because he goes investigating and he gets used, and so along with his implants he has already, he gets another one, and he takes this drug. That's his investigation. He's looking for this street drug and see what's going on with it. And he gets injected with it. And somewhere in there, his journey just takes on a bonkers turn, and it's almost like here's your reality, an augmented reality, and a virtual reality, and they keep mixing, and you're very unsure of which one's which. Some of it seems to happen in reality until you realize things like he gets these little menus that pop up that help him in conversation, A, B, C, and D. And you can tell which one he chose because of the way someone responds to him. It's like, well, is this just helping him out in reality, or is he actually in some kind of game here, going through these levels? Uh, it so it's such a mix that, like I said, it's almost something like a big drug-induced hallucination. Some of it I was getting a little bored with. It's like, okay, I get it. He's out of his mind. Can we kind of get to the point? But the author's not letting you off the hook. Uh, I'm not sure about the ending at all. Is he being? Does he get away? Is he being swept under the rug? Was this part of the game? Is he dead? Is he? What's happening to him here? It's left a little ambiguous, or at least, unless the author was like, here's all your little clues right here at the end, and I'm just not getting it. It was interesting enough that I did finish it. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just a little too drug-addled for me to. But that's part of the point, though, is that you kind of don't know, is it real, augmented, or is it virtual? And I won't discount it as like garbage or something. It's interesting enough that I wind up getting all the way through it. And but you see all these 4 and 5 star reviews, and I don't know that I could call it that high. Maybe I just didn't 100% understand what I was reading. It almost seems like I should have sat down and gone line by line and paragraph by paragraph and annotated it so I could put all the pieces together and figure it out. But then a lot of filmmakers and authors, drop in all these clues to kind of, a little shuck and jive and kind of fool you and get you to talk about it because they're not going to give you the answer. And, I don't know. So I think possibly he becomes part of the big experiment of what is essentially a takeover with a not so benign controlling entity. There's artificial intelligence in here. There's augment, as again, every cyberpunk technology is represented here in some way. But this goes, whereas a lot of cyberpunk, when you look at Neuromancer, when you look at Alec Effinger's When Gravity Fails cyberpunk books, I think it's called the Boudin series, in the Middle East cyberpunk storyline there. And the main character, there's drugs that go with your cyberpunk, but they're kind of the cyberpunk part, the tech part takes precedence. And here it's all drug minded. It is center stage on his journey through this. I don't know if he's I caught something about, there's a couple characters' names that seemed to, the way they were spelt out and pronounced, sounded like trust in Christ. And I don't know who Christ is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be Lakerman here as a sacrifice? Is it the company involved, ancient Rome trying to crucify this man? I'm not quite sure if that's the actual answer there. But so interesting anyway. I haven't read anything like that at all. A little too out there for me, but likable enough that I had to go to the end and find out what in the world is going on, even though I didn't quite understand what was going on at the end. So I don't know, a book like this, do I recommend it? If I don't, you're just going to have to find out if you want to go for it. I think this is the author's second book. I haven't read his other one. So that's it there. Next week, I have no idea if this guy has written other books, other science fiction books, rather. He's certainly written some scientific nonfiction. His name's Robert L. Forward. This is called Dragon's Egg. He's more of a futurist. but he did write this. Well, there's a lot of quotes here instead of, here we go. In a moving story of sacrifice and triumph, human scientists establish a relationship with intelligent life forms, the Chila, living on Dragon's Egg, a neutron star where 1 Earth hour is equivalent to hundreds of their years. The Chila culturally evolved from savagery to the discovery of science, and for a brief time, men are their diligent teachers. So a nice time dilation difference between civilizations. So that's why I got this. It's something I've seen sitting on the shelf for ages. So I decided that it's about time I went and got some Robert L. Forward in. He, among other things, he was known for things like how you use a laser system to push a sail to another star, and it's called Star Wisp, if you want to look that up. And I think ultimately, a piece of, one of the engineering aspect of it was that we still haven't figured out exactly with the kind of power involved, how you make the sail resist that kind of heat. So there's some engineering specific things needed to be worked out, but otherwise, that's one of the biggest things he's most famous for. But I'm going to give his fiction here a little go. So I'm going to see Project Hail Mary today, and if you have not read it, I lost my jacket cover, but that is one outstanding book of the 3 Weir books, The Martian, Artemis, and Project Hail Mary. I liked this one the best. I think I feel like universally The Martian has always been the biggest of the 3 for people, but I like Project Hail Mary more, and I'm going to see that movie today. So that's it for me. Thank you very much. Hope you got something out of this. So a new subscriber asked me to do something to sort of go over all these books. I might do it. It's just that thinking about how I would do it it might take a while, so I might do that as a separate video if I do it. And then there's a few things I recalled, like I couldn't recall the title of a particular series off the top of my head. This will have to be fast, because if I go through these and review all these are the books I've been reading for the past like 2 years. So it's like I could do 2 years worth of video in one video or something. So it'd be like a rapid fire sort of thing, and I'm just not quite there yet, but I might do it if I feel like I'm going to have fun with it. So that's it for now. This is all the stuff covered here this week. See you next time for Dragon's Egg. Thank you. Bye-bye.